Hello everyone, this is Thomas Pepin NHL Talk. I'm Thomas Pepin and let's talk about the NHL. So, today, if you haven't seen already, the subject of the stream today is are age and salary correlated? And in particular, the reason why I'm asking this question is to have an idea of if the timing of contracts is relevant to GM strategy. So, for example, if a correlation is not going to tell us the direction, it will tell us it'll tell us the direction, but it won't tell us necessarily that one causes the other and all that, obviously. But if there's a high correlation, then that means that they're related, which means that in all likelihood, as age goes up, so does salary, and as you're younger, salary's less. What I'm going to do is only look at one-way contracts. Reason being because I want to eliminate a lot of the because two-way contracts that are at league minimum is not going to really tell us much, and it'll skew the results, I think. So essentially it's going to be like I said, so just the one-way contracts, see if there's a relationship. If there is, then we'll look into things further. And as always, I haven't done this study yet. I'm doing it on the spot, so going to be running the calculations. Didn't get the chance to check how easily I'll be able to compile the data and calculate things, so hopefully it's not too complicated, but we're going to try that. So first I'm just gonna start with trying to see if I can or how easily I can, and we'll go from there. So just bear with me to have a look here. There we go, that's what I wanted. Okay. So 708 results is probably good enough to give us should give us an indication. So let's try to move the data over. I sure hope it does go over well. So for the most part, yes. I'll have, it says 15 pages of work to do. And of course, since I'm doing it on the spot, my apologies for that, but yeah. So it looks at the moment like it doesn't go over super cleanly, but at least relatively cleanly, so it's just a little bit of extra work. So I'll let you watch me work once I just get things organized here, so just bear with me. Okay, so that's that. Stop it. Okay, so I'll let you guys watch now. And so the problem is that the cells don't go over correctly. What's the easiest way? Let's do... age cap hit is all I need, I think. Oops. So yeah, you guys can see now what I have to do. So some of the cells don't line up correctly, and then that means I have to move them all, and it's a bit annoying, but nothing I can do about that. And yeah, like I said, I'm going to have to do this for each of the pages. I think it has to do with there being additional information for some of these players, so then it creates a new row. So my hopes is that it has something to do with the higher end players, and then as we go into the other pages it won't happen as much, or won't happen at all, but we'll have to see and cross our fingers. That doesn't fix anything. Yeah, it's too bad. Oh well, nothing we can do. feels like already it's not as bad, but it's hard to tell. So yeah, as always, if you have something you're working on, you can put me on in the background and wait till I say I've finished something, or you can come back in. In this case, I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'm guessing, as per normal, probably 15 minutes or something like that. Yeah. That's 2 of 15. Yeah, it seems like it's a lot less frequent now, but so I think it has something to do with contract terms, and then so the higher paid players will have more complicated contracts. Whoops. Oh, what's that from? Oops. Guess I messed up there. Now I could technically do this by position, but I just want a simple answer anyways, so I mean, the answer might not be the same between goalies and forwards, for example. But it's more of a general question anyways, so we'll see. Okay, 3 of 15. So something I've said previously, that bugs me is this really should be on the NHL website. Again, there could be a reason why, but whatever that reason is, it's probably not a good reason. One thing I'm always worried about is when I try to do things quickly, because I'm doing it on the spot and I'm trying not to take a crazy amount of time, is that I screw something up with moving things, like I make a mistake or whatever. But such is life, I guess, in the end. Hopefully the mistake is not overly impactful. Or I catch it before it becomes an issue. I guess one nice thing about this, even though it is slow and you don't really see, like it's not overly entertaining watching me make spreadsheets and stuff, but at least you see that I'm not, fudging numbers, which is actually not that bad of a thing, because people can say all sorts of things about whatever they're doing, because I'm sure you've heard before that you can make stats say anything, and so if you never actually see how the stats are made, then how can you really trust necessarily the results? So it's like with the advanced analytics stuff that I looked at, when they calculate things like expected scoring, well, like, how did you create that algorithm, that model, whatever you want to call it? Because what if I disagree with how it's made? Then, I mean, it's not all that good of a model. It could be completely faulty. So I guess essentially all I'm saying is it's good sometimes to see how something's made, and then that way you can judge for yourself if it's reputable or not. So at least you know what I'm doing. You can see if I made a mistake. You can tell me about the mistake, and then that way I can correct it or whatever. So it's not all that bad, as tedious as it is, and as less entertaining as it may be. So far, it doesn't look like the frequency is getting less as we go into the smaller contracts so far. We're still in contracts big enough where people can negotiate better terms, but I mean, it's not looking overly promising. It's could be this tedious the entire way through, but hopefully not. My eyes are already burning from focusing on the screen too hard. I mean, I've been looking at my computer screen the whole morning, but that's normal for me, so and the fact that it's burning already is not a good thing. But whatever. All right, so we're nearly halfway. So we're on page 7, I think it was. Yeah, I think it's even getting more common, the number of times that this thing requires adjustments, so that sucks, but you deal with what you have. Now, I don't know if there's another site that's better. I'm confident with this site, so at least this way. Because like it's referenced all the time, so I can assume that things are correct. And if there's other sites out there, I don't know for sure that they're accurate. Maybe eventually I'll find a better alternative, but until that point, this is what we're using. So it looks like so far so good. Now I've crossed the halfway point. And I don't know what the time's at, and I don't want to waste time by going and checking, so can't estimate how much longer it's going to take. But like I said, we're halfway. So however long it's taken so far on the stream, double that, and then I should be done. And the thing that sucks is the calculations take like seconds. Like a minute. You just need to put in the formula, select the cells, and then it's done. So it sucks that it's all this extra work for something so quick. That's actually one thing I think I've checked before, but CapFriendly, so it's either NHL.com should have this information there, or CapFriendly should make this available in Excel form. That would be nice. Squirrels are really active out there today. Chasing each other around a tree. Yeah, so far, yeah, it doesn't look like the thing making the cells not line up doesn't look like it's going to go away. So something probably straight to the end. I'm hoping in the future, as people hopefully watch this more, that they'll see things that I do that are less efficient with Excel and can give me ideas of ways to be quicker. Because I mean, I always try to find ways to be faster at what I'm doing, but you don't know until you see it, basically. If what it is like no move clauses and stuff, and they're getting them at $1 million, that's pretty darn lucky for them. I mean, to have clauses that protect you when you're, well, I don't want to say less important of a player, but realistically, that's what it is. Yeah, it's pretty lucky for them. Oh, I missed one there. We'll leave it. Okay, good. I thought I might have missed another one because of the way that the numbering was lined up, but it's not the case. I just started at the wrong cell. That's all right. And I was thinking, if I put something up to entertain as I'm working on this, whoops, then it takes away from what I was saying before, where you can actually see what I'm doing. And whatever I would show you anyways could get me copyright strikes or whatever problems related to copyright, and who wants those? So yeah, I mean, in theory, like could do this work ahead of time, but like I've said before, in future the plan is to have the comment section actually active, and then this way you guys are occupying yourselves or talking about different subjects, then I can check and chime in, and it's not for nothing, but that is in the future. We need people here before that is a positive, or at least not a negative. So, oh well. What's most distracting to me about the squirrels is that they're so twitchy, and what they're doing, at least from my perspective, doesn't make any sense. So for example, they'll go up and down the same spot, having not actually picked something up, and then it's like, well, why'd you do that? And then they go and they do it again, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. And then so it's distracting. So I should say I'm nearly done. I'm at page 13 of 15 is what I'm working on at the moment. And then that leaves 2 pages left. And usually the last page is short, but it could be full too. It's hard to say. Can't see exactly what's going on because I don't have my glasses on, but the 2 squirrels are completely all over each other, and it could be monkey business, but it doesn't look like it because they're not in the normal oh, did I screw something up here? what I was going to say is they're not in the normal position, we'll say. What's going on here? Spencer Martin. I don't know what happened with these cells. Of course the squirrels had to choose whatever they're doing right in front of my apartment. All right, last page, and it is a short one. Hey, that's good news. And then it's the calculation, and we're done. And it should be quick. Okay, I'm just gonna move a few things around here. So just bear with me. Double check I didn't miss anything. Crazy squirrels. Am I doing it by salary or cap hit? It'll be cap hit because that's consistent. So the calculation is done. And the thing about it is, I won't tell you the answer yet. It was not what I was expecting. I need that. I need to put that here. I think that's good. Okay, so the results are, oh, and I should make it bigger and easy to read. The correlation between salary, which is this cell here, and age, which is this cell here, or well, column, sorry, is 0.1538. And so what I've done is pull up basically an interpretation. So there's different ways that people label results from correlation coefficients. And so this gives a few different ways that they label it. But in all cases, they are, well, I guess in the three ones listed here. So 0.15 is weak or negligible, or poor. So based on the data used, it appears as though age has a weak, negligible, or poor correlation with salary. So that is actually, is that good news or is it not good news? That's a good question. Let me think about that here. So age and salary are not correlated. So that means as the age goes up or down, the salary could go up or down. They're not connected. How do I interpret that? I think the simplest way to interpret that basically is that I think that GMs control salaries. I think that's a fair conclusion from that. So my rationale is that if it doesn't matter by age, I guess maybe I should have kept performance. But does that even matter anyways? Because if it's based on performance, then just the salaries are going to be fair. And then if it's not based on performance, then that means that a GM fully controls how much they turn out paying. So really it's irrelevant. So Is there something I'm missing? See, this is the problem about doing it on the spot. And the fact that I've got a light and camera pointing right at me. I mean, it doesn't really bother me. It's just I don't want to waste too much time thinking about it. Age and salary are not correlated. Do, 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 do. It's like I said, yeah, my first instinct was that GMs control what a player is going to get paid, because if it's not age, it's performance, and that's fine. Like I said, that's perfectly reasonable, because as you perform more, you get paid more. That's there's no problems with that, and even calculating that isn't really going to give us anything useful, because, like I said, if they're correlated, great, because then higher performance gets higher pay. That's fair. If they're not correlated, it means the GMs have more control over salaries and can pay good players less than they're worth, and that's great for management. So that also means, let me pull up that document that I had from the first stream. So when I started so it was called Defining the Problem. What other factors were there? So this is what I mean about something I said previously, is always have reference material, so you, rather than thinking too hard, you can just reference and figure out what you're missing. I don't know if I even need to do another study I had planned. There it is. Okay, so if salary is not correlated with age, I could have checked. Salary duration based on age. But I don't think it's going to tell us anything anyways. Yeah, I don't think that's all that relevant. Yeah. So I should have maybe kept some of the other data. That would have been wise to do, but whatever, it's no big deal. So then I think the conclusions I have are pretty much correct, and there's not really much more to say about it. So some of the other notes that are relevant to the subject, at least. So if salary is not correlated with age, so like I said, length of contract with age, maybe I should have checked. Would I have even had that? available? I think so. Where is it here? Oh, it's closed now. It does not have contract duration, so I couldn't have done that. So that's okay. Phew. So I didn't waste time. Okay. And sorry, let's just go back to where I was. So, okay, so if contract isn't correlated with age, then that means you do contracts based on performance or whatever you can negotiate, which is perfectly good because then a manager does in fact have a strong or a large they have a greater degree of control than I thought they did, which means that really there's no excuse for poor management. It means that they're buckling under the demands of the player, which I mean in some cases is fair because, like, let's say you have a really scarce resource like an Austin Matthews and he's asking for $12 million. Do you sign him? Do you not sign him? Well, that's a good question. Because he's scarce, he's worth the dollar figure, but the dollar figure makes it impossible to make a good team. So again, going back to a manager having control, it's like I've said before, trade the player, get more back in terms of cumulative performance, or get a portion of it back and then sign the rest in free agency. Of course, that's in an ideal world, but realistically, it's at least theoretically possible. So yeah, and I mean, it must be the case based on what we've found out that duration is probably not correlated with age. Because if salary isn't, duration probably isn't either. I mean, maybe it's something still to take a look at. I'll write it down. So maybe that's another question, but I still don't think it's going to be worthwhile. I'll have to think about that one. And it was 708 data points, and I think that's enough to give us an idea. It's 1 year. But, I mean, I don't think going... Well, we want to know what's most recent anyways, so if it was different before, it's kind of irrelevant, because what matters is what matters, or what matters is what's happening now. I could just be trying to justify not doing more work on it, but it still feels right. So I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else I'm going to do about this. So again, the correlation 0.1538, which is weak, poor. What was the other term they used? Weak, poor, negligible. So I think that's it, really. Yeah, so that's great news. Yeah, and then in terms of where to go from here, I'm not sure what's next. I'll have to take a look at the list again. I'll figure that out before I start the stream tomorrow. And we'll go on to the next subject, I guess. So that's it. So thanks for tuning in. If you liked the stream, hit the like button, share with your friends, subscribe, turn on notifications. My homepage of the channel says the upcoming stream should be 2 p.m. Eastern. And any comments, leave them in the comments. Suggestions likewise. And otherwise, we'll see you guys tomorrow.